Hi everyone, Joshua here from Paisley, joining you after Rangers 3-0 win over St Mirren. It was a meaningless game to end what's been a very disappointing season overall for Rangers. Obviously, I think there's some optimism within that. Looking forward to what Michael Beale's going to do going forward. And in isolation, this was another good win for Rangers. Obviously, as mentioned, it doesn't mean anything. It brings the curtain down on what's been a very long season. I mean, Rangers' first game of the season was on the 31st of July away at Livingston, which feels like a different season entirely. Obviously, a longer campaign because of the World Cup, and it ends here with a 3-0 win over St Mirren. We'll deal with the game first, and then the press conference, and then answer some questions about what I guess we can determine going into the summer with Michael Beale's rebuild set to get going. Rangers are in control kind of for the whole game here. A bit of a new tactical setup by playing Rabbi Matondo and Fashion Sakala extra wide today with Cantwell and Hadji kind of getting the ball in front of the St Mirren centre-backs and trying to burst into the space in behind at points as well. Beale spoke about that in the press conference after, saying that the fullbacks were slightly flatter, and that allowed the wingers to try and burst into that space behind. And Sakala did that brilliantly for the first goal. And his second goal, although not a similar move, was from a similar area of the pitch. He's been a really effective player, I think, overall under Beale. In big moments in Old Firm games, his end products let him down. I don't think he's someone that you're going to build a team around, but I think he has shown under Beale he's done enough to, earn the right to be around next season. Probably, in my opinion, if you just look at his numbers, I think it's 18 goals and assists in the league in 24 league games under Beale, which is quite an impressive record. As mentioned, he got both of the first goals, both the first and second goals. Rangers kind of in total control, and then Antonio Cholak came off the bench to score from a set piece, another set piece goal for Rangers under Michael Beale. It's something that was a real, I think, so it was untapped before he came into the club this season, and ever since. The work that he's done, obviously alongside Harry Watling, the first team coach who kind of leads that area, has been really impressive, and over the course of a season it's so important to make all these marginal gains, isn't it? And I'm sure that the set piece work that Rangers have put in and will continue to come to fruition next year as well. Scott Arfield got on for the last 20 minutes or so, his last appearance for Rangers. There was no appearance for Al McGregor, who obviously said his goodbye and not only at the weekend, but he's got his testimonial coming up in July. No Alfredo Morelos in the squad, as mentioned. Bailey Rice and Alex Lowry on the bench, but they didn't get on to the pitch. Adam Devine did, though, and he was the one who won the corner before that third goal. First comment here from RFC 72 that just says simply Raskin with a clap emoji. I think that sums it up quite well. The future looks bright, certainly for Rangers, with Raskin and Cantwell to kind of build around. He was playing that slightly deeper number 6 role again, and I think that's one of the things that stands out so much about Nico Raskin to me is even when he doesn't win the ball, he's so good at just kind of covering gaps. There was one moment when the game was at 2-0 that it looked as though St Mirren were going to get a clear shot on target, but he just managed to get his body in the way. And overall, I think you have to say that him and Cantwell, if they're the standard of signings that are going to come in, then that's very positive indeed. I think you're going to struggle to get better players than both of those two, but if you're able to build around them, put them in a better functioning team, then that's certainly something to be positive about. And both those players also, they're kind of hybrid players. They're able to play different roles. We've seen Raskin play slightly higher up the pitch or at the base of midfield. We saw Cantwell today kind of play that deeper position in midfield and get on the ball a lot, as opposed to playing higher up where he's done ever since kind of that Old Firm game and Tillman got injured, he's been the one that's been breaking from midfield. So another positive day for Nico Raskin, and good to have, I guess, him and Todd Cantwell really settled in to build around going into the summer. RFC 56 saying, what did we learn today? I would have played the youngsters, quality strikers and wingers in Deadwood out. I think that is suggesting. Yeah, I mean, I was surprised that Lowry and Bailey Rice didn't come on. I guess maybe we don't know who was saying their final goodbye today. You have players like Borna Barisic are entering the final year of their contract, and Michael Beale did kind of suggest afterwards that for a number of players that this might be their last game. Obviously, we won't know who that is until the summer. He did use all his 5 subs, Adam Devine and Leon King, the 2 kind of younger ones who were coming on. Rangers moved as well to back 3 at points in the second half. And I mentioned as well for John Sousa, who the manager spoke about in his post-match press conference, kind of took it upon himself to mention again just how impressive he's been, the Scottish international, who might well have a couple more games for his country before the end of the season, but certainly with 3 games in a week after the season, he's had another really strong display by John Souttar at the base of midfield. Tom, you're saying, do you think it's worth giving Matondo another season to see if he can deliver on early career potential? I thought Matondo was relatively bright. I think I gave him a 7 in the player ratings. End product lacked a bit at points, but there was a couple of runs where he was just, if that final shot had been on target, maybe something could have come of it. He looks so much more comfortable, I think, playing off the left side, but he was able to kind of get in behind the defence on a number of occasions today, and he has looked sharper. There obviously is talent there with him, but it's whether he's going to get enough kind of space to show it. Saying that, you look at a game today and you think this isn't an option. This isn't a game for players with pace to be able to show that. But Sakala's first goal kind of maybe disproves that. I think it's about using it well and trying to manipulate space in kind of the opposition's defence. Matondo has had a bit of a chance towards the end of the season. He's not exploded onto the scene. I think he's done well enough. I guess it all remains to be seen with the fact that Beale keeps speaking about, there is some redeeming aspects of this team. He's not going to sell 20 players and bring 20 players in. I guess we just need to wait and see if Matondo is one of those who is kept around. And Scott saying a similar thing there. Nice result. Glad the season is over. Looking forward to the recruitment drive this summer. Yeah, I mean, Beale again speaking in his post-match press conference was highlighting the new Rangers that is to come. This was, I think, the last performance for a lot of players that have been here maybe for some time. Rangers did finish with, I think, 90 points or 90 plus points, but ultimately second in Glasgow is last, and Beale knows that, and all those players will know that as well, and that's why there is on the horizon, as he said, I think after the Scottish Cup semi-final, the biggest rebuild this club has seen in a number of years, coming with numerous players going in and numerous players going out. Scott as well saying disappointed Lowry and Rice didn't get on. Yeah, I was surprised about that, but I think this was very much a kind of line in the sand. You'd imagine that especially Alex Lowry has to really be part of things going forward next season. He's 19, 20. I don't know if he's hit his 20th birthday yet, but the talent isn't in question. I think it's just about seeing if he can do it on a consistent basis, and ultimately if he is given his chance, pre-season will be big for him and a number of other players as well. And Bailey Rice, obviously at only 16, has plenty of time to break into that Rangers first team. So I mean, in isolation, I think what we can learn from the game today, Rangers set pieces continue to be a real positive, and I think over the course of next season, when they are do have that clean slate to start from, that will come into focus even more. I just think it's such an area. The game against St Johnstone, when they had 20 corners at the start of the season and lost 2-1, was just so stark how ineffective they were from that area. So a real positive to turn that around, and now from most corners or set pieces, you think that Rangers could score, and they have lots of variation as well, which is a real positive thing. Fashion Sakala, I think, has done well generally under Beale. Again, I don't think he's going to be at the forefront of Beale's team next season, but I think he's deserved to kind of be in and around it. It remains to be seen if he can improve as well with a full pre-season under the manager. And I guess now that all focus goes on to the rebuild, Rangers don't have a game now for quite some time. It's been a long season, and we appreciate every single one of you who has viewed the channel and subscribed as well. We're going to be even busier over the summer as we keep you up to date with all the goings on, all the information about new signings, all the background, the scout reports of them as well. Remember, if you're not subscribed to the website, please do go and do that, and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. We'll be live on Monday morning, looking back on this game as we look ahead to the summer as well, and kind of previewing the season as a whole over this week. So until then, thanks very much for joining us as ever, and we'll speak to you on Monday.